is there a consensus for the best album of all time?
I would say Songs in the Key of Life.
I would put Songs in the Key of Life there.
That's my personal favorite.
If you put that at number one, I'd be like, I get it.
All right. So Apple Music released their 100 best albums. Now, Terry's got a qualm. I got a couple. Let's go ahead. And this is their 100 best albums.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we do not have to go through the whole list. I'm not here for that. Terry's issue is, which is crazy, but his is with the number one album. Am I right?
Yes.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, I do not believe that the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is the best album ever made. I feel
as it relates to Apple Music.
As it relates to period.
I don't care what it's related
to.
Yeah,
I don't care who decides. I don't care who decides.
Bro, you got to keep it in the confines of them.
No, I don't.
Though.
Okay, this seems like they use the same people at Rolling Stone to make this list.
Or Billboard.
Because there's no way that out of all the great music that we've heard and have experienced and digested over the years, that and you know what I'm saying, God bless Lauryn Hill. She's a great artist. She gave us one great album. And
it's a great album.
That one great album should not be the greatest album of all time. I don't care what nobody said. We've had discussions about who all were responsible for this album.
True.
Who all wrote for this album. And I don't think she warrants having the best album.
What if are you saying that just because of the fact that it's her only album? Or because...
No, I don't think I like the album.
The album is amazing.
I like the album, but I don't like it better than any of the top 10 that were listed on this list. I don't like it better than any of those.
So the blatant disrespect as it relates to the top 10. First of all,
they have this better than Songs in the Key of Life.
Songs in the Key of Life being number 6.
And that might be my favorite R&B album of all time.
Frank Ocean being before that with Blonde.
Blonde is not even Frank Ocean's best album.
Purple Rain being 4, Abbey Road being 3, and Thriller being 2. Okay, this is
an awful
records.
list.
Yeah, man.
But Songs in the Key of Life being number 6 and Good Kid, Mad City being number 7, all like the credibility is starting to be consistently stripped from this list because I just don't buy it, bro. That's what I'm saying. I just don't buy it.
That's why I kind of didn't even want to talk about the other stuff on the list because it pisses you off the deeper you go into it. But this has been happening for years that people have held Lauryn Hill's album at this super high pedestal.
That's a good album, man.
It's a really good album.
It's an amazing record, bro.
But
is it better than Purple Rain?
It's not.
Okay.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Is it better than Songs in the Key of Life or Good Kid, Mad City?
It's not better than Songs in the Key of Life. No. It's not.
It's one of those albums.
It's better than Lemonade.
This is why Lizzo was popular because once listen, let me explain it.
Okay.
This is why she is popular because once a certain demographic starts to like this artist, the kind of hip white professional.
This is safe.
It's safe.
Safe. I like
they
safe.
hear it, oh, that sounds good. I really like that. So when Lauryn Hill dropped her album, it was one of those safe albums that people could get used to in this hip hop, and I really like it, and there's not any vulgarity on here, and I'm comfortable listening to it. It doesn't feel like a threat. And so did Target. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those albums.
Hold on, man. Quick question. There's safe that checks off all the boxes that you just talked about. Then there's safe that's actually dope ass music that's safe. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I feel
about. It's not like this album is just safe and it's just
good.
safe. This is really good
material. It's really good, but you have
under your criteria.
Have to add that in too. So it's the really good album that the white professional like too.
Okay.
And you know what? And people are going to be mad, and I don't care.
Here you go.
The Carnival is better than the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
No, I ain't going with that.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Cap.
What is the Carnival?
The White
Clef's album.
Oh.
I enjoy the Carnival more.
They're going to be on your head in the comments for that.
Don't care.
That's Cap, J. Moore. Come on now.
No, it's not. Go back and listen to the albums.
That's Cap.
Because honestly, listen.
That's Cap.
Even the people, the white folks that were engaged in hip hop culture, they don't christen that Lauryn Hill album great like that. Well, they might have liked it, but they ain't never been like, that's my favorite album. Lon, what's your favorite album?
My favorite album? I don't know.
It's a Common album, right? One of them.
Like Water for Chocolate.
So you like Water for Chocolate more than you like the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of has something to do with you being cultured and having a certain taste that you acquire for hip hop music.
For sure.
That is not necessarily a safe.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I feel like because this list per se isn't necessarily just about hip hop music or black music in general, it's like a general list that covers all pop genres and stuff. I think that's where I could push back against what you're saying, because
it's based off, it's grounded in their platform.
It's
for what I don't know if they do specific type of data or whatever, but it's theirs.
Like with what I just said, I think Like Water for Chocolate is a better album, but would I put Like Water for Chocolate over the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill on this list? I don't know. I don't know if I would, because I feel like the Miseducation of
Water for
Lauryn Hill
Chocolate's probably not even in
has
the top 100.
No,
no, it's not.
But I feel like it has a grander appeal, to your point. But I think for a list like this, that it actually is probably necessary to some
Make
degree.
it number one.
Maybe not number one, but at least to be mentioned in the top 20 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you think about Thriller,
Because it won all those Grammys.
But think about Thriller is arguably not even Michael Jackson's best album.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not. But this is the thing, though.
Thriller is his magnum opus. It's his Terminator 2 to what might have been Off the Wall being Terminator.
Exactly.
Good Kid, Mad City might not be Kendrick's best
A lot of
album.
people weren't even listening to Michael Jackson the same way when he dropped Off the Wall.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the Michael Jackson introduction to Quincy Jones production that probably majorly appealed to an urban audience,
Right.
Because we were used to Michael Jackson.
And he had been Dolo since he did like the Ben album when he was a kid.
Yeah, like
if I'm not
people,
mistaken.
People don't like, Off the Wall is like his third or fourth
Yeah,
solo record.
Am I tripping? Like there was albums in between.
No, he did solo records on Motown.
Okay, I got you. All
I
right.
just feel like this list is very much, it's trying to appeal to the grand consensus as opposed to being like the best actual musical piece of work.
Those are two different conversations.
Yeah, and I think to Terry's point, this is not that. This is not the best musical piece of work. It's not. It's not. It's a great album, but it is safe. It's a safe pick, but I feel like that's what this list is when you look at it. I mean.
Yeah, because I'm looking just on this page at maybe 10 albums I like better, which I think are overall better albums. I'm thinking Pet Sounds.
They're all safe albums. Look at them.
Yeah, Pet Sounds is very safe. Thriller is safe.
Abbey Road is very safe.
Lemonade.
Yeah, okay.
Lemonade should not be top 10.
It shouldn't be nowhere near the top 10.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
The Blueprint, if you're going to talk about that's a safe album for, because if you're talking about an album that's actually better, I think 444.
Bro, the album, the songs in the key of life.
Rumors.
I like In Rainbows more than OK Computer by Radiohead. And I like OK Computer a lot. So, In Rainbows is probably one of my top 5 albums ever. So
we started
Frank Ocean. I was like, come on now.
The Frank Ocean.
This is them trying to be cute.
Yeah, Blind is not better than what's his first album?
Orange.
Orange.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not even
not
in the
better than
same
that.
stratosphere as songs in the key of life. If we talking about it in real
I
life,
don't think we can compare
I
that
can't.
essentially, because you're gonna have a variety of different sounds that make up the top 10 albums of all time. So when we're talking about Stevie Wonder, he's a genius musician at the end of the day. He knows how to play so many instruments. It's crazy. And he writes his own stuff, and he plays all of his stuff. He's played all of his stuff on some of these albums. So I can't really judge artists based. It's an unfair comparison.
Well, I'm taking into consideration both. I'm taking into consideration everything that you said, which I think first of all I agree with, but that's a part of Stevie's story. But the product is just, the level of the product is just better in my opinion also. Like it's twofold. He did all of it, and the music is doper to me. It's just better.
It's dope. Yeah.
It's just better. Like Purple Rain is amazing. Like it's amazing.
I can go out on a limb because when the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill came out, it was at the height of the neo soul era. So that album kind of embodied the hip hop and neo soulism that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to choose a neo soul album, it probably would be Voodoo.
What about Mama's Gun?
I would choose Mama's Gun.
Yeah, you're right.
Mama's Gun is really good, man.
Right. Voodoo followed close up.
I know why
second.
it's not on here, but I would put Mama's Gun ahead of the Miseducation.
See, now you're starting to show out, man.
I would too, though.
Telling the truth.
I would too.
I feel like six, maybe 7 of these in the first top 10.
You'd be okay with?
I think they could fluctuate around, and I think
Abbey Road is not a top 10 album. I think it's a top 20.
That's 150 comments right there.
It's a top 20.
It's arguable.
Yeah.
It's arguable.
You talking to a person?
Blind definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, I get that out of here.
You talking to a person that thinks and openly says and will argue to the cows come home that the Temptations are better than the Beatles. So you don't have to sell it on.
First of all, I would put Pet Sounds ahead of anything that the Beatles have done.
You said that about the Beach Boys. You definitely
yeah. So
I'm pro Temps on that. They're better than the Beatles.
But we're talking about albums.
Yeah, I got you.
What are the the Temptations? This is when everything's very single based.
Yeah.
The Temptations, when they was putting out albums, that wasn't really their golden era.
I'm gonna go find an album. We're gonna talk about this next week.
So would I be considered
what else is on
a hater for saying this about Lauryn Hill's album?
The way you broke it down, no. That doesn't come from a place of hate.
Maybe a little.
I mean, if you're a Lauryn Hill fan and you're listening, you're hating, and so am I. Because I said some things.
You definitely have.
Maybe a little.
I ain't gonna put you in the hater category.
Lauryn Hill after this, she ain't never showing up on time.
That's why she ain't giving y'all no more music. Is because y'all sit around and christen this album as the greatest thing that was ever written. And she's like, well, I ain't got to give y'all nothing else.
You sounding real Nate Jeezy-ish right now, bro. That's what you sounding like. Because he agrees with you 100%.
It's wild, man. Because I mean, and honestly, the score. I think the score set her up perfectly because the Fugees' score was a really good album.
She shined,
and that was a Target album too. True. So these are safe albums.
This is that one. If you went through somebody who didn't have any other rap albums in their big folder,
yes,
they always had the score.
Yes, exactly.
I had the score. So it's
tape. Like you were introduced because you did not have the Fugees when their logo was a 2-3-headed baby being held up. Mm-hmm. And they had what was the song they had? Saturday, yeah, Nappy Heads. You weren't.
And that was the remix, the one everybody because the rest of that album is terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
The score is crazy.
They regrouped. they regrouped and dropped some dope stuff.
The remix has saved what we blunted on reality.
And to his point. Lauryn shined on the score.
Yeah, she shined
all
on
the way through it.
And this is back when videos were very important. So you see this lovely looking dark skinned chocolate woman with these other Rastafarian type dudes
in the movie theater looking good.
That was later on.
Yeah, that was later. I'm talking about
when he was talking about 1, 2, 3.
I got you.
But it's messed up kind of your first impression. I remember the first time I saw the Fugees, I was like, oh, this is a dark skinned, less talented version of Diggable Planets.
Damn.
Oh wow, that's crazy, bro.
I mean, just like the first time I saw TLC, I was like, oh, that's cute. It's a girl, Belle Biv DeVoe.
Oh, damn. I like TLC from the beginning. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I liked them, but I just remember I was like, oh, that's what they're doing.
But Lauryn Hill was that appeal though. She was the appeal for the group.
Yeah,
she was the face of the group essentially. And once she went solo and dropped a really great album. Because honestly, the lead single to that album wasn't all that great to me.
What?
Everything is Everything was the first single.
No. That was the first. They put out Lost Ones.
Was Lost Ones
that
the
was
first
the
one?
joint? Everything is Everything came later.
Man, the one where the video is the record
is the spinning. That was later.
I could have swore that was the first one.
And then it was Lost Ones was first. They didn't shoot a video for that, but I remember that was the first one they serviced the radio, and that was hitting on a little underground because it was.
They didn't really play Lost Ones on the radio.
Yeah, because that was the one they kind of like. Okay, we're setting this up, and then it was. Doo-wop, that thing.
Doo-wop.
That was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one where they had the video and they really made it happen.
Mm-hmm. That had the budget behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, the formula behind that album was great, and I'm not taking anything away from the album. It was structured very well.
Nothing even
Every
matters,
song was good. But it's just not the greatest album of all time.
I'll say that there's nothing on that album that I don't like.
I will say that too.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
But yeah, I said the same thing about Any Heartbreak, and I guarantee that's not on this top 100.
It'll never be. Yeah,
you know better than that.
Yeah.
So
I can say that about a Californication. It's one of my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. Yeah. I don't think it cracked.
Go ahead,
on here.
What would you guys? Is there a consensus for the best album of all time?
I would say Songs in the Key of Life.
I would put Songs in the Key of Life there.
That's my personal favorite.
If you put that at number 1, I'd be like, I get it. Yeah. I can see that.
Whenever people ask,
what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on is very good.
That's number 17 on the list.
as it relates to songs in the key of life, every once in a while I will see as you scroll through topics about which 5 albums do you need here, or if you're going to be on an island or any of that. And whenever I answer it, that's the one album. There's 2. There's that, and there's Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. Those are the 2 that I always keep. Now the rest of the other 3 might fluctuate, but Stevie and Miles are the 2 that I gotta have on the island.
Look,
I don't care what nobody says.
And once again, music is subjective. But for me, if I'd have seen Pet Sounds, Purple Rain, What's Going On, or Songs in the Key of Life at number 1, I wouldn't have been mad. But the rest of the stuff, I'd be like, well, I can make arguments against it.
I'm kind of more mad that Blonde is even in top 10.
Most people haven't even heard that record.
Yeah.
People don't want to say that out loud, but most people haven't even heard that record.
You know, I'm disappointed Beck's not in here because
Beck be cleaning up at the award shows. Hey, real talk.
Where's Beck at, man?
Where's Jamiroquai?
I don't know. That first one was cold.
Amy Winehouse's Back to Black is a very good nod.
I think it's a very good album, but I don't think it's top 20.
Demar, what about the Fooshnickens?
Now you just playing.
I'm not playing. I'm asking.
Well,
no.
On that note,
yeah,
I'm trying to think of another album that could have been in there though.
Hold on, let's go a page over. Can you go a page over?
It's just the end.
Okay, the very end. Okay,
yeah, it's gonna be a rabbit hole, bro. Because you're gonna get mad when you see.
You know what? Because you know what's I wouldn't put it at number 1. Pearl Jam 10. I would put Pearl Jam 10 before Nevermind. That should Pearl Jam 10.
When y'all talk Pearl Jam, y'all start losing me.
No,
that's when
Pearl Jam.
It's not my area.
I feel like
Before Nirvana.
I was outside. I feel like Pearl Jam 10 was better than Nevermind, and I know that is a controversial thing to say.
Nevermind is by
Nirvana.
Okay,
No, I don't think so. But I liked Pearl Jam back in the day too. But
Even Flow, Jeremy, Black.
Jeremy spoke.
But maybe, Black was one of those records where, like, when I was in my kind of emo high school phase trying to figure it out.
You used to have a bang swoop.
I didn't have all that. But,
He was wearing shells back then when he was listening to that.
No. I wasn't doing all that.
That Sublime album was hidden.
Sublime. Where is Smashing Pumpkins? 19. Yeah, okay. All right. Once again, I'm getting into my rock bag. It's a lot. So I should stop.
Which Smashing Pumpkins album?
Oh, gosh.
It was their double album?
No. Maybe the one before that. I can't remember.
Where's Coltrane, Love Supreme?
Kind of Blue is 25.
Where's that? Okay, shout out to Kind of Blue.
What was they put a Daft Punk in there?
Yeah, it's 23.
I'm surprised Train ain't on here nowhere.
Revolver.
Love Supreme.
I would put Revolver before Abbey Road.
No Coltrane. They give some Train no love.
Ain't no
David Bowie.
Anita Baker on there.
No, of course not.
You ain't gonna get Anita on there.
Come on,
that's
man.
too much like right. I'm surprised Train ain't on here. Biggie.
That I thought that was Cabin California.
No, come on.
I got
Public Enemy.
Somebody got what is that? What Beyonce album was that?
Beyonce.
The one that's just called Beyonce.
36 Chambers. All right. Nas, Illmatic. Okay.
Aretha.
Equipment.
What number 41?
Oh, 40.
That Control album was crazy.
Yeah. Hold on,
was that Intervisions?
You gonna have Control before Intervisions? Calm the down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on, Drake don't need to be nowhere near in the top 50.
Was that Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
Paul's Boutique goes before anything Drake has ever done.
Oh man, you gonna get some comments.
And I'm sorry, Appetite for Destruction.
That's a good album.
Yeah, that is a good album.
It needs to be a lot closer to that top 20.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the thing is, Guns N' Roses' entire
there's
legacy.
Train.
Guns N' Roses' entire legacy
54.
is based off that album.
Yeah, Love Supreme was crazy.
Rihanna, The Cure.
That anti-album. Voodoo at 57?
That might be a little low, but I fool with Voodoo.
Okay, Sade, Love Deluxe. All Eyes on Me.
Tupac.
Bad Duism.
Because they don't have the
was that 3 Feet High and Rising?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have the confidence to put
NWA's push to the back
against the world.
Number 72.
SOS?
Interesting.
Calm down.
Man.
Must be some youngins in the
Downward
world.
Spiral was a really good album by 9 Inch Nails, by the way.
Okay.
Super.
Was that Uzi Vert? Hold on, man.
Bad Bunny.
Hold on. Go to the heart with the legs.
Go to the heart with the legs.
That's
Bad Bunny. I don't,
I've never heard that.
I don't know those records.
I got like 7 copies of this on vinyl. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is a really good album.
Bad Bunny is popular though. Was that the Eminem?
Yeah. Snoop Dogg.
Doggy Style is 85.
Massive.
Mary J.
Massive Attack. Nina Simone.
They ain't had a wall on there?
I think that was earlier. I saw that.
Okay.
Come on, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Is that Flower Boy? Flower Boy?
Flower Boy
That was a good. Solange album was good.
It was
Not
good.
better. Fashions?
Confessions is that far back? Wow.
Astroworld.
Astroworld.
Because if this is an Apple list, then Confessions should be a lot higher.
Why is Astroworld close to Confessions? See, I got issues, man.
Yeah.
I got issues. Well, who are
This
these
is
people?
crazy.
Y'all interns got to get y'all life together, man. Because come on, man. I think we need to get out of here on that.
The interns
You know, I got
need to
language
intern for
Oh,
You know, I got language
somebody else.
and I
man.
saw Low End Theory, but I did not see Midnight Marauders.
Because that wasn't an album that the masses are going to gravitate to.
And it's probably my
These are
favorite
all
one.
safe albums, if you noticed. Well, I wouldn't say all of them are safe albums, but majority of the ones on
And are
that
they only
list-
doing one album per artist? It looks like
Yeah.
that's what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Radiohead had 2.
I think
Oh.
yeah.
Prince had 2.
Oh, he did. He had Sign of the Times
Beatles had a
and
couple.
Purple Rain.
Either you
Okay.
made it or you didn't.